Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive.
Absolutely. Always ready to jump into the deep end.
Well, today we're heading to Haiti, and it is a complicated one.
Really layered. A lot going on.
Yeah, and we've got a ton of sources for this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we're looking at breaking news articles, some social media stuff, even some historical context on key figures. And then we're even going to dip our toes into some spiritual interpretations.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Right. It's going to be fascinating. So, we're not just going to tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
We're going to dig into the why. Why is all of this happening? And what could this mean for Haiti going forward?
Yeah, those are the big questions, aren't they? You can't really get a grip on what's happening now without looking at the past. And things have been pretty turbulent, especially since the assassination of President Muzi back in 21.
Turbulent is a good word for it. And speaking of turbulent,
Yeah.
did you see what happened with that Spirit Airlines flight this week?
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
I mean, getting shot at while landing in Port-au-Prince?
Yeah, not exactly the welcome you want to a concert.
Seriously. It really underscores the intensity of the gang violence that's gripping Haiti right now.
It's a stark reminder, for sure. Can you imagine being a passenger on that flight?
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Seeing bullet holes inside the plane.
So scary.
And that incident actually caused Haiti's main airport to shut down.
That's right. It did.
And that was no accident. It was strategic. The gangs, they control huge portions of Port-au-Prince now.
Yeah.
This airport closure is part of their strategy to isolate the country.
It's a huge power play.
Exactly.
So we've got gangs in control, a major transportation hub basically offline,
Right.
and then you layer on all the political turmoil.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole mess,
Yeah.
the political situation.
Yeah.
So it's a big piece of the puzzle here.
A huge piece.
And just this week, acting Prime Minister Gary Connell, he got dismissed by the Transitional Council.
Wait, Gary Connell?
Yeah.
He was prime minister before, wasn't he?
It's actually his second time.
Wow.
Yeah. He served in the same role back in 2011, 2012.
That is really unusual. And wasn't there something about him being spotted at the U.S. Embassy after he got fired?
Yeah, there were some reports about that.
What's that about?
Hard to say for sure, but it definitely adds another layer of intrigue to the whole thing.
It really speaks to just how complicated Haiti's relationship is with the U.S.
Absolutely. But back to Connell. This dismissal,
Yeah.
it throws a wrench into an already chaotic situation.
It makes you wonder if a new government is even possible at this point.
It's going to be really difficult. For one thing, there's a lot of disagreement among the presidential advisors about who should fill all those key positions.
I see.
And then you have the Haitian people. They're fed up
Oh, I bet.
with the traditional politicians. They're demanding change. They're tired of the same old faces and the same old problems.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, it's totally understandable.
Which brings us to the gangs themselves.
Yes, the gangs.
Are they just criminal organizations? Or is there something more to it?
That's the question, isn't it? So you've got this powerful gang coalition called VV Ensemble, which means let's live together.
Okay.
And they're led by this guy known as Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Yeah, the nicknames are pretty common in this world.
Wild.
But, I was reading some stuff from social media influencers who are really deep in this world.
Yeah.
And according to them, these gangs, they might be more sophisticated than we realize.
Really?
They're talking about mercenaries being hired from other countries, even internal conflicts with the Haitian police.
Wow.
So maybe this is bigger than just your typical turf wars.
It sounds like it. And then you mentioned someone who claims to be in contact with spirits.
Oh yeah, Nago Naya. They're a pretty influential figure in Haiti.
Mhm.
They claim to communicate with spirits' ancestors. And according to Naya, there's a spiritual dimension to this whole crisis,
A spiritual dimension.
the battle for Haiti's soul.
Okay, so now we've got gangs, we've got political upheaval,
Right.
and now we've got a spiritual battle.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So tell me more about this Nago Naya. What kind of insights are they offering?
Well, Naya claims to have spoken with the spirit of Jean-Jacques Dessalines,
Wow.
Haiti's first ruler.
Right.
And according to Naya, this spirit is predicting a final battle,
Yeah.
a battle against Western forces, particularly the U.S.
Okay.
And Naya also had a vision of Barbecue engaging in violence at the behest of the U.S.
Wow. So we've got gangs, political upheaval, and a spiritual battle. This is pretty intense.
It is. But, these spiritual beliefs, they're woven into the fabric of Haitian culture and history.
For those who might not be as familiar with Haitian culture, why is this spiritual dimension so significant?
Well, in Haitian Vodou, which has its roots in West African traditions, spirits, and ancestors, they're central. It's not just religion, it's a way of life, a worldview.
So you can't really understand the crisis without understanding these beliefs. It's not just about the violence, it's about how people are interpreting and making sense of it.
Exactly. And whether you believe Naya's predictions or not, they're influential. They shape how a lot of Haitians see the gangs and the role of outside forces.
Which brings us to the big question. Whose interests are really at play here? There are a lot of fingers being pointed, particularly at the U.S. and other Western countries.
Yeah.
Claims that they're supporting the gangs, working to undermine Haitian sovereignty.
There's a lot of skepticism towards U.S. aid efforts,
I can see why.
especially given that $2 million bounty that's been placed on the heads of these gang leaders.
It's kind of strange, right? You'd think with all our resources, our intelligence...
You'd think it wouldn't be so hard to find them.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you've got the situation with the Dominican Republic.
Oh, right.
A lot of tension there, reports of Haitian migrants being treated terribly, and then within Haiti itself, a lot of people are pointing fingers at the PHTK political party.
Hold on, can we back up for a sec? The PHTK, for those of us who need a reminder.
Oh, right. The Haitian Tet Kale Party. They've been a dominant force in Haitian politics for a while now. But they've also been accused of having ties to gang operations.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And then let's not forget about the U.S. sanctions that were imposed on former President Martelly.
Oh, right, for alleged drug trafficking?
Yeah, and former Prime Minister Lamothe for corruption.
It's a lot. It really feels like Haiti is caught in this web of internal and external power struggles. You have to wonder who's pulling the strings. What are their real motives?
It's definitely a complex situation. And, what's really interesting is that these accusations against the U.S., against other Western powers,
Yeah.
this isn't new. These claims are rooted in Haiti's history, a history of foreign intervention.
That's a great point. To really understand what's going on, we need to look at that history, don't we?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Haiti's relationship with the outside world, it's long, it's complex. This is the first Black republic in the world, born out of a slave revolt.
That's right.
And over the centuries, Haiti has faced so much. Economic exploitation, political interference, even military occupation.
So when you hear those accusations against the U.S. about supporting gangs, undermining Haitian sovereignty,
Right.
it's not just about what's happening right now, it's about the past.
Exactly. That legacy of colonialism, of neocolonialism, it weighs heavily on Haiti.
It makes you wonder how you even begin to address a crisis like this. You've got the immediate violence from the gangs, but then you have these deep-rooted issues, systemic issues.
It's a massive challenge. It's not just about external forces either. You have the internal power struggles, the corruption, a political system that just doesn't seem to work for the people.
And it's the Haitian people who are caught in the middle of all of this.
They're the ones paying the price.
Yeah.
The violence, the instability, the economic hardship.
It's heartbreaking, especially when you consider how resilient the Haitian people are.
They've overcome so much,
Yeah.
yet they keep facing these enormous obstacles.
So what can be done? How does Haiti break free from this cycle? We've talked about the problems, but what about solutions?
There's no easy answer. It's going to take a multi-pronged approach.
Okay.
You have to address the immediate crisis, but you also have to look at the long-term challenges.
So where do you even begin?
Well, first and foremost, you got to tackle the security situation. You got to disarm the gangs, restore some order.
Right. But how do you actually do that? Do you send in more troops? More foreign intervention? I mean, we've seen that before, and it doesn't seem to work.
You're right. A lot of experts believe that the best way forward is to strengthen Haiti's own security forces.
Give them the resources they need.
Exactly. The training they need to combat these gangs effectively. It has to be a solution that comes from within.
That makes sense. But there's also the problem of corruption within the police force.
Huge problem.
How do you address that?
Corruption is a major obstacle. You're right.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of effort to root out the bad actors and build a police force that the people can actually trust.
A police force that's accountable.
Exactly. It's about reforms within the police, but also within the justice system as a whole.
So it's not just about more guns, more boots on the ground.
No.
It's about trust, accountability, a system that actually delivers justice.
Exactly. And alongside security reforms, you also have to address the root causes of all this gang violence.
Why are the young people turning to gangs in the first place?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And there's no one answer.
Right.
A whole bunch of factors. Crushing poverty, lack of opportunities, social exclusion, and this sense of hopelessness that's really pervasive, especially among young people. When you don't have faith in the government, when you don't see a path to a better life.
It's easy to see how someone might be drawn into that life.
Exactly. So the solutions, they have to go beyond security. You need to invest in education, job creation, social programs, give people a reason to believe in a brighter future.
You need to give them hope.
Yes. And that's where international aid can actually make a difference.
But it has to be done right.
It has to be strategic, effective, not just handouts. Sustainable development programs that empower communities, build long-term resilience.
It's a massive undertaking.
It is.
But it sounds like there is hope if we approach this the right way.
There's always hope. And it's crucial that Haitians are the ones leading these efforts.
It has to come from within.
Yes,
Yes.
external actors can support, but the solutions have to be Haitian-led.
You know, that reminds me of something we were talking about earlier, the spiritual interpretations of the crisis.
Oh, yeah.
Nago Naya and their belief that there's a spiritual battle for Haiti's soul.
Right.
If that's true, what role do Haitians themselves play in shaping their future?
That's a great question. I think, Naya's predictions, as controversial as they might be, they highlight that deep connection Haitians feel to their history, to their ancestors. And maybe that sense of shared heritage, that belief in their collective strength.
It can be a force for change.
Exactly.
So maybe it's not just about practical solutions. Maybe it's about tapping into that spirit of resilience, that belief that Haiti can overcome these challenges and build a better future.
It's about recognizing that Haiti is not just a victim of circumstance. It's a nation with a rich history, a vibrant culture, and a people who are capable of incredible things.
So how do we, those of us outside of Haiti, how do we help? How do we amplify the voices of those who are working towards that better future?
That's where platforms like this come in. We shed light on the complexities, we amplify those voices, and we shift the narrative from despair to hope to possibility.
And maybe inspire others to get involved.
Exactly. At the end of the day, this isn't just about Haiti. It's about our shared humanity,
Our interconnectedness.
our responsibility to support each other.
I love that. It's a reminder that we're all in this together. Now, let's shift gears a little bit. We've talked about the challenges, the potential solutions, but I want to talk about the people who are already making a difference on the ground in Haiti. What are some of the initiatives that are already underway? It's really inspiring to hear about how resilient the Haitian people are. Even with everything going on, there are people who are really dedicated to rebuilding, to making things better.
It's true. There are so many individuals and organizations doing amazing work in Haiti.
Can you give us some examples? Like, what are people actually doing?
Well, you see community leaders stepping up, right? Providing essential stuff, food, water.
Yeah.
You have educators who are determined to keep the schools open, trying to create some normalcy in the middle of all this chaos. And then you have artists using their creativity to spread messages of hope and unity.
It's about recognizing the strength that's already there in Haitian society. Not just waiting for help from the outside, but taking charge.
Exactly, harnessing that power that already exists. Haitians are incredibly resourceful. They find such creative ways to deal with these challenges, to build a more resilient society.
Those are the stories we need to hear. The ones that show us the potential for change, even in a crisis.
I agree. Those are the stories that give us hope.
So for someone listening who wants to help, what can they do? Where do you even start?
Well, there are a lot of really great organizations doing fantastic work in Haiti.
Yeah.
Do your research, find one that you connect with, consider donating, volunteering your time.
Even small contributions can make a difference.
Absolutely.
And beyond the financial support, just staying informed, right?
Yeah.
Educating ourselves about the situation and really challenging those misconceptions.
So important.
Yeah.
It's about going beyond the headlines, engaging in conversations, and taking action.
You know, this conversation has been really eye-opening. And honestly, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all the problems Haiti's facing, but it's important to remember the human element,
Exactly.
the people at the heart of this.
It's a powerful reminder that we're all connected, that we have a responsibility to help each other, especially during difficult times.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with this mix of emotions, sadness, anger, but also a sense of hope. The resilience of the Haitian people is incredible, and so are all the people working towards a better future.
Hope is the key takeaway. But hope isn't passive, It's a call to action. It's believing that we can work together to create a more just and equitable world.
And as we've seen today, Haiti's future depends on that collective effort. Haitians taking control of their own destiny and the international community providing support in a way that empowers, not undermines.
We were talking earlier about Nago Naya and their belief that Haitian ancestors are fighting for their nation. If that's true, Maybe it's the descendants who hold the key to unlocking a better future.
A future free from violence, from instability.
Exactly.
Maybe Haiti can finally reach its full potential, not as a symbol of tragedy, but as a beacon of hope and resilience.
That's a future worth fighting for.
It really is. Thank you all for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you learned something new today, and maybe you're even feeling inspired to get involved.
Remember, even small acts of solidarity can make a difference.
So let's stay informed, stay engaged, and keep working towards a better world for everyone.